Welcome to Map My Route, an audio storytelling project. In each episode, our guests will map their personal histories of place and share the lessons they've learned along the way. My name is Nicole Wright. While traveling, these interviews trended towards being recorded on comfy couches, after the kids went to bed or after arriving home from dinner. The integrity of the audio you'll hear includes pauses to sip tea, to squirm, to get comfortable again. You'll hear a mic pick up the other person's laughter or trailing affirmation. Beyond being outside my technical ability to repair, I'm grateful that these interviews memorialize the softness of sharing physical space with people you love. May we all make time to sit on a couch, or share a bed, or sit in the grass, and ask our friends how they see life from their eyes. This is the first of 2 interviews I had with friends of mine that are married couples. My guests Ashley and Jason are examples of being led to new places by work opportunities. As of recording this interview, they are fresh into a new chapter on the East Coast and describe the bittersweetness of starting over and building new routines and community. As they've discovered, though, there is good company to be found in the most unexpected places, even in West Virginia. Today is September 10th. I'm in Orange, Connecticut with Ashley and Jason. These are my friends from Michigan Tech. I've spoken about the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I met them my last year of school, instantly connected with them. They lived above my favorite brewing company, so they were always very close nearby when I needed a listening ear. They have moved several times as you do after graduating, most recently to Connecticut. I haven't visited in 5 years, since it was like a week before COVID when you were still in West Virginia. So this is my first time and potentially your first guest besides your in-laws to visit.
You're the first guest in a semi-settled home.
Very fun. Orange is 10-15 minutes from the Yale University campus, about an hour and 45 minutes north of New York City. I am going to let Ashley and Jason talk a little bit about who you are, how you identify, and how you got here.
I don't even know where to start.
Let's start with you grew up in London, Ontario, Jason, and Ashley in Goodrich, Michigan, which is a suburb in Metro Detroit.
Not even.
Flint?
20 minutes outside of Flint, a very smallish town, farms everywhere.
You both decided to go to Michigan Tech. Why did you go to Michigan Tech?
So I went...
Do you want me to do an intro?
Bad, y'all. Sure. I'm trying to figure out how to silence.
Do you want me to mute? No, it's Logan.
It's Logan. Yeah. Stop.
Logan.
Sorry.
We're
Do you
literally...
want me to put it on Do Not Disturb?
Yeah.
We're talking about Thai food.
He's so needy.
Okay.
So I'm from London, Ontario, Canada. It's a pretty big town.
Between where?
It's right in the middle between Toronto and Detroit.
He has a shirt that says that.
My mom bought me a shirt that says that. So yeah, it's a big town. There's 300,000 people when I lived there. Like growing up is around that, and then now it's even bigger than that. Yeah, it's closer to 500 now. And then I left there when I was 18 to go to Michigan Tech to play basketball. And then I've never really gone back for any extended. Yeah, I haven't lived there since. So I was recruited to play basketball. I had a couple options to stay. I could have stayed in London at the school there, University of Western Ontario. That was probably where I would have gone, either there or to Windsor if I stayed in Canada. And then Michigan Tech was the only school in the U.S. to offer me a scholarship, so I went there.
Was that related to permanent residency stuff?
No, I didn't. At that time, I wasn't thinking of staying in the U.S. at all. I assumed I would have gone to school and then I would have gone back.
But why did you pick Tech over like Windsor or Western?
Mostly just the basketball was better.
Michigan Tech had better basketball. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, the basketball at those 2 other schools is actually comparable to Division II level of basketball. But Michigan Tech, I got a full ride scholarship there, so I didn't have to pay anything.
Ding ding.
And that was a big deal at the time for me. That's what I wanted. That was like the dream. But I didn't think about staying in the U.S. long term.
Ashley, why did you choose Tech?
Both my parents went to tech. My brother went to tech. My sister did not go to tech, but because 3 of my family members went, I was very adamant that I was not going to go to tech. And my sister and I were on a road trip. We were going to go visit University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Like, we were driving through the UP, and my mom was just like, stop at tech. Just make sure that you don't want to go there. So my sister and I were driving. We stopped in Houghton. We went around campus. We went out to Copper Harbor, and then we didn't make it to University of Minnesota because I just fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with Houghton, like the community. I liked that it was a small town. I liked that I was able to like go to school, but also go outside and go and explore. I was actually kind of mad that my parents were right, that I would like tech.
You had not been up there to visit your brother or been up for a family visit or anything?
I think I was less than 10 the last time that I remember visiting. I never went up and visited my brother, no. But I was stubborn. I was very adamant that I wasn't going to go there because I'm not going to do what my family did. And then that was stupid of me because I did exactly what my family did.
Beyond being a small town, what was most appealing to you about living in the Keweenaw Peninsula? The outdoors, the size, which was about 7,000 students, 7,000 residents.
I think it was like the size of the campus because before I had visited tech, I was very sure that I was going to go to a large school. Like, I had been looking at Michigan State, I'd been looking at Purdue, and I was like so sure that's what I wanted. And the fact that you could cross campus in 10 minutes, it was very appealing to me to be able to wake up and walk
Roll
out of
bed.
WADS at like 7:52 for an 8 o'clock class. I don't know. I went to a smaller high school. I knew everyone, and I actually, as much as I thought that I didn't like that, I really enjoyed that. And so it wasn't like I was going to a bar or going to class and I was like, everyone was a stranger. It was like no matter where I went, there was at least 1 or 2 people that I knew, that I was comfortable with. But I remember we were in the Rosé, maybe the pep band came out or something, and it was just like, okay, this is where I'm going. Like, I don't even need to go anywhere else.
Did you both only visit one school?
Yeah, I visited a bunch of schools.
Because I think I only visited tech.
I was like so adamant that I was not going to go to a school in Michigan, and there was no reason for it. Like, I was just like, no, I'm going to move away. I'm not going to stick around. So I visited Bowling Green. I hated it immediately. Like, as soon as my mom and I got to campus, I was like, I'm not going here. Same thing with Toledo. I was like, this place sucks.
The common denominator sounds like Ohio.
Well, yeah. Like, I mean, why would I? The fact that those were even on my list, like, no.
What about you, Jason?
So I visited University of Windsor, University of Western Ontario, University of Toronto I visited, which is in like downtown, like the heart of Toronto. And when I visited that one, I was like, I'm not going. Like, it was awful. Like, it was just in the center of Toronto, so busy. Like, the classrooms were in high-rise buildings. Like, it was very weird. Because London's big, but it's wide, so it had a way different feeling from what I was used to. And I knew I didn't want to live in a city like Toronto. And then I visited Michigan Tech one time. The weather was so snowy up there still. Like, we didn't have snow in London, but when we got up to the northern Michigan, it started just a crazy snowstorm. But that's when I visited, was in the worst storm. I was not really focused on anything. I was just excited that they offered me a full scholarship and I could play basketball somewhere. I thought that I was going to play basketball the rest of my life. That's all I had plans for. So I was like, they like me, I like them, I can play basketball here, I'm going to go here. I didn't know anything else about the area, what program I was going to go. Like, I didn't know anything.
Okay.
The idea of getting a scholarship was like...
The prestige of a full ride.
Yeah, that was more so what it was. Well, I did like that it was a small town. I don't think I realized how small of a town it was. Like, we just saw the campus.
Well, there's nowhere to go.
Right, so...
Most people stay downtown. And that's
Right, so we didn't go anywhere else. So I was just like, yeah, this is small, but it's not that small. And then when I actually got there, I started to realize, like, how small it actually was up there and how isolated it was.
The ending of this story is that we all really loved Houghton, I think. And I graduated in 5 years. Jason, you got your master's, MBA. Ashley got your master's No.
Yeah, I was in Houghton for 5 years.
But you stayed in the Upper Peninsula for your graduate degree. You went to Marquette, which is the biggest city, question mark, in the Upper Peninsula. It's about 100 miles, literally 100 miles southeast of Houghton, closer to the Lower Peninsula. What brought you out of the Upper Peninsula? You two got married before you moved to West Virginia?
Yeah. 2019 was a big year for the Hawks.
That's their last name.
We are the Hawks. 2019, I was finishing my master's degree, my master's thesis, and was graduating. And in the midst of all that, I was applying for jobs and interviewing and everything. After I graduated, I graduated, we got married. So we went to Colorado and had our wedding. And then the day before our wedding, I got a call from my then supervisor at NIOSH. Hey, you got a job offer. You guys are moving to Morgantown, West Virginia.
They extended you an offer a day before your wedding.
We were at a gas station and they called me and they offered me a job. Without that, we would have stayed in Houghton, I think, as long as we could have. NIOSH was the only place that offered either Jason or I like a full-time long-term job. And so a week after we had our wedding reception, we packed up our apartment and moved 15 hours south to Morgantown, West Virginia. That was literally the only reason we left Houghton.
Yeah, because at that time we were living above the KBC.
Keweenaw Brewing Company.
And
our rent was $400.
Our rent was literally $400.
Combined?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I was making pretty decent money doing random graphic design work.
I was making $100 a week at the fitness center.
Yeah. But literally, like, we were living like such a comfortable life there for so cheap.
Oh, I miss it.
It was actually really nice, but we knew it wasn't we couldn't really do that forever. We started to look for higher paying jobs, so then we headed down to Morgantown.
Did you have any reservations or preconceived ideas about West Virginia?
Absolutely. I guess I have a really bad habit of not looking at the places that we moved to. Not looking at literally anything about it. And like West Virginia gets honestly the worst rap in every news story. Everyone thinks West Virginia is full of a bunch of hicks and a bunch of idiots. Well, before we moved there, we really fed into it of like, well, we're moving to West Virginia. Like that's literally the last state that we would ever want to move to. I very much feel guilty and I like very much regret kind of the comments that I've made about West Virginia before we moved there, because it was completely based off of preconceived notions and like what the media portrays West Virginia as. What is being put out there is so wrong about West Virginia. Like, we lived there for 6 years and I think we would have stayed there for a heck of a lot longer if we could have, if it hadn't been for like my job situation and everything. Like, we loved it. I don't think we could have found a better place to live right after college.
Morgantown specifically is interesting because it's where West Virginia University is. It's a pretty big town for West Virginia because the population, similar to Houghton, the population doubles with the student population. So it's pretty built up compared to other places in West Virginia. And there's a lot of stuff to actually do. We got to go to sports games and things like that, even though there's no professional sports in West Virginia. There is stuff to do there still, and especially in Morgantown there was more because of the large university.
Everyone that we met there was transplants, just like us. We were all kind of in the same boat where we all kind of had these preconceived notions, and then we were all just like, actually, this place rocks.
There's a lot of classism that goes into how people perceive the South.
Yeah.
Or Appalachia.
Yeah.
Is there something or some things in particular that you really remember fondly about the state itself beyond the people that you met? For example, I remember the pepperoni rolls.
The direct access to nature is like really cool. It's nature at kind of a different scale than what we had been around in the past. Like obviously, like Lake Superior is really cool. It's also massive and can be scary sometimes. But like the Appalachian Mountains, 5-minute drive, you're in the mountains, and there was a state park that was literally like a 10-minute drive from our house that had probably one of the best views.
Was it Cooper Rock?
Cooper's Rock.
Cooper's Rock. I was thinking of that when I was talking to my friend Paige about Cadillac Mountain. For some reason, I kept saying Cooper's Rock.
And it is so accessible. I think that's like a big thing is like a lot of this stuff in West Virginia. Like you have Cooper's Rock and then you have Blackwater Falls, which is where we took you when you came in March. My dad is wheelchair bound. And so I like anytime we go anywhere, I think of like, would my dad be able to go here? And like Cooper's Rock, he absolutely would. We've taken him there. Blackwater Falls, he would be able to see the same views that we would be able to. And I think that's like a really big part of West Virginia, Appalachian Mountains, that whole like section. It's, you think of like outdoors and everything, and like not a lot of people think about the accessibility. And I think that's one thing in West Virginia, at least the places that we've gone, is a lot of it is very accessible. And I think that's really important. And I think that's something that a lot of people overlook. And that one thing that I appreciate about West Virginia is being able like to take my dad to places that we enjoy.
Would you say that's kind of intertwined with your professional work in biomechanical engineering?
Absolutely. That's why I went into it.
Yeah. So that's cool. Accessibility has been such a big part of the places that you appreciate. So one thing I had brought up earlier today was like college towns. Because you work in academia, Ashley, like you've ended up in a lot of college towns, all exclusively college towns since you've been together. Is there anything culturally, socially about that you have noticed?
I think it's interesting with college towns, and we've lived in Houghton, Marquette, Morgantown, and now around New Haven. It's interesting to see how the community either accepts the college town and embraces it, or like doesn't really like it. When we were in Houghton, especially as an athlete, I thought that the town loved Michigan Tech, but like looking at it now, yeah, it's separate, and the community is not actually that involved with Michigan Tech. What did you think about Northern? Was it like that?
Marquette, it was either like you were at Northern or you weren't. If someone was outside of the tech community, they weren't really excited that you were affiliated with tech. Whereas in Morgantown, it was WVU this, WVU that.
A lot of the good resources in the area were affiliated with WVU. So like the healthcare system, like the state really clings on to WVU because they like need it. Whereas other places, they may not feel like they need it as much. So they kind of push it away more.
Jason works remotely in video.
Yeah, I'm a freelance video editor.
Ashley, you just started a new job at Yale in research. Biomechanic research.
I'm not curing cancer, unfortunately.
That is a result of mass government layoffs. So you had said that you would have stayed in West Virginia for a long time, but how did you feel about having to move out of West Virginia?
I cried.
You cried.
I was very upset. We knew that we weren't going to stay in West Virginia long term. Like we knew that that was not going to be our forever home, our forever state. But I think kind of getting that layoff notice and having to scramble and find a new job didn't really give us kind of the choice to move. Where working at NIOSH, that was the only reason that we moved to West Virginia. That was really my only opportunity to work in West Virginia. I think that was like the toughest part. Was it wasn't our decision to move. It was, we had no other choice because we had bought a house. We were putting down roots. We had our community, we had our friends, we had our neighborhood that I would say they became like a family. We didn't really have a lot of time to process. I mean, it still took a couple months, but it was very sudden for us.
I got pretty ingrained in like the basketball community in Morgantown. I basically knew all the basketball players in Morgantown and like all the trainers and all the coaches. Ashley got really ingrained in the art community, doing markets and selling her art, and with all the local store owners. Our friends, Meg and Jared, have a gallery in Fairmont, West Virginia, which is like 20 minutes south of Morgantown. So we did a lot of stuff at their gallery. So you just get involved in these different groups that when you're leaving, you're like, oh wow, I'm not gonna have this anymore. And it's a very weird thing, especially when you're not choosing to leave.
We were regulars at the coffee shop in town. I was so upset the last time that we went and got coffee there because I was like, it's going to be months or even years until I can come back here. And like Jason and I talked a lot about this. You get comfortable and you get complacent. That's not always a bad thing. Every Saturday we would go to Mountaineer Roasting and we'd get a coffee and Jason would get a breakfast sandwich and we knew the baristas and everything. And like now you don't have that.
And they got me into film photography, and one of the baristas developed my first couple rolls of film. It starts a whole
But like Colin became our friend because of that, and like we became friends with the owner. And
but being a part of the community, just like it builds you as a person in a way that you don't really realize that it is. If you didn't have that, you wouldn't be what you are now.
What are some of your first quick impressions about starting a new chapter in Connecticut? Are you judging it in any way, or are you pretty open-minded or nostalgic for West Virginia?
I miss my routine that I had. I knew what I was doing. I knew where I was going. For me, it's very much a lot of back and forth of I'm excited to try new places and this is a cool place to go and explore and check out.
I feel like you both are creatures of habit and you also love adventure. That is the duality that you two exist in.
We're not 24 again. Like we are more established in our careers. We're more set in our ways. And I think that to me, that's a little bit more difficult to go out and meet people because I'm just like, I just don't have the energy of a 24-year-old. I wish I could just bring Morgantown here. I might change my mind in a couple weeks or even a couple days where I'm just like, yeah, Connecticut is amazing. And I do love Connecticut so far, but it's just...
Do you think you felt that way when you first moved to West Virginia, though?
When we left Houghton, it was a weird time because basically all of our friends had left already.
We were the only people left.
So it was different. We were more sad about leaving the area. It was a lot different circumstances.
Houghton was more the area all of our people had left, and Morgantown as a city without the people, it was fine. Honestly, it was kind of like college where everyone was away from home, harder in a different way.
To your knowledge, you will be in Connecticut for the next 4 years, for your contract at least. Do you think this transition that you've gone through will inform how you decide to move in the future? Is that too far away to think about?
Moving here, I literally knew nothing. So, similar to Morgantown, I knew nothing. I just kind of followed Ashley along because that's where she got a job. So we have to move somewhere very specific for her to get a job. And I'm willing to do that, and it's been fun so far. So moving here, I didn't come visit it before moving here. Like Ashley came with our friend Meg to look around, but I wasn't able to come. And I've kind of learned if you are willing to try different things and look around and find the things that you enjoy.
And you were saying to me that almost every place you've lived in, you've felt pretty content there. It's been more of like outside force that has caused you to move.
I mean, I think the least content place was London, and I knew that I wanted to leave London. I don't really even know why. I just didn't want to stay there.
You were 18 years old.
But like, yeah, I didn't want to leave Houghton. I would have been fine staying there forever. Same with Morgantown. And then hopefully it'll feel the same here. But yeah, I just get comfortable. So it's like, I just kind of adapt and I can feel comfortable anywhere.
I think right now we'll stay here until the 4 years my job's up, and then we'll kind of play it by ear. I think it's definitely going to depend on how things go the next couple years, but like I'm not ruling anything out just because, yeah, West Virginia was very surprising. I for sure thought we'd be there maybe 2 or 3 years and then we'd leave. And then after 2 years, we were like, let's buy a house. Let's stay here forever.
Do either of you feel like you have any goals about where you want to live or criteria such as, do you want to live in the mountains? Do you want to live near a body of water? Do you want to keep trying new places? Do you want to pick one place? Are you kind of like down for the ride?
We've always kind of said that we wanted to move back to Marquette eventually. I don't know if that's an official goal to live there. The issue is there's like no jobs there, but Ashley does know people at Northern. If she wanted to go into teaching, she could get a job there potentially, but outside of that, we haven't really discussed like
I'm not going to make you discuss this.
we haven't really discussed specific.
No, let's talk about it.
No, we haven't. I don't know. I don't have any specific places. I know places that we wouldn't want to live is like in the middle of New York City or like LA or
God,
like just like there's very specific things we don't want. I think we're very open to after these 4 years. Like if Ashley can find another position somewhere that we think is interesting, then we'd be open to moving there.
You're not stressed by the prospect of moving for work.
No, even before I accepted the job here, even while I was interviewing, like I knew that wasn't my forever job. And I knew like at this point in time, I'm not ready for that. And so I think because of that, we have to move. But my thing is like when I was in my undergrad, I was very adamant that I was going to work for Nike or work for Adidas. I was looking at grad schools on the West Coast. I was looking at grad schools in Canada, and I was thinking like, I need to move out west to be able to get my dream job, to be able to like meet my career goals that I had set. And I think now, especially living in West Virginia and now here, maybe my criteria for wherever we go next, whether we're staying here or we go back to Michigan or somewhere else, I want to be within a day's drive of my family. The thought now of living in Washington or living in Portland, like I can't even fathom that. Being able to like go and surprise my parents for a weekend or something. Like, I mean, we have a niece and nephews. Like I want to be able to go to their baseball games or their piano recitals and stuff. And like, we haven't been able to do that. And so that's like one of my goals is to be able to be there. And then also if we have kids, like have my family be involved in that, where if we're messing around in Portland, we can't do that.
As individuals, what do you think that your personal history, what do you believe about yourself because of that? How do you think that's changed your personality? What do you believe about yourself?
I don't know about myself as an individual because I have had Jason, and I think that has made all of these transitions a lot easier, and I think I've been very lucky to have him. And Jason and I have talked about this several times, like moving to a new place, not as a couple, as a single person. People that do that are so brave. I don't think I would be able to do that. I think having Jason with me and like just having kind of that person to lean on, I wouldn't say like I'm an extremely outgoing person, but I feel more confident in talking to new people and introducing myself and making small talk with people. Like I feel more confident and comfortable having him next to me, whereas if I was by myself, I don't think I would do that.
You have a built-in cheerleader.
Yeah.
Extra set of hands and like someone to listen when you're having a hard time.
I wouldn't be making these moves without Ashley because we're making them for Ashley's job. We've only been here for like 3.5 weeks. I haven't left the house without Ashley. I haven't really done anything on my own yet. But yeah, I haven't felt lonely. I haven't like felt like I needed to do that yet, because we're just figuring everything out here, like in our house right now. I think overall, my experience with moving to new places is trying to find a community and just trying to navigate that. My experience with moving in the past has kind of taught me to just be more open to trying those certain things.
My first big move was across the country, quote unquote. Jason and I moved there together. A couple months later, it was COVID. And so like, I don't know, it sounds cliche, but like we've built our relationship together to the point where like we enjoy spending time together. So I think that makes it a lot easier where you enjoy spending time with the person that you're moving with.
I imagine there's something kind of fun and exciting about someone telling you where you're going next. Like when I was an intern, I would find out in this like spring semester where I was going to be assigned next for my next internship. And it was like probably somewhere I wouldn't have chosen on my own, but it was like a fun new adventure and I knew it was probably going to be temporary.
yeah, like it's exciting. And yeah, it's like as of right now, it's a 4-year position. Like that's essentially temporary. If after 4 years we decide we don't like it, I can move on. Like I don't have to stay in this position. But also, in a way, it's kind of harder where like we've only been here 3 weeks. We're going to be here for 4 more years. Like we may find best friends here. We may find like another community. And then if after 4 years we have to leave, like that's just kind of leaving Morgantown all over again. Like you're leaving the people that you've come to know and you've come to like grow with and everything. It's easy in a way of, okay, we're out of here. Let's move on. But also it's like, I don't want to move on.
Is there anything else that you feel like you want to share?
West Virginia may be number 50 on reading in the U.S.
Okay, don't just say that. Is that real?
I had to write about that for my qualifying exams. It's like number 50, or maybe Mississippi is after it.
It's not good.
It's West Virginia is rated very low on like most rankings, but I think everyone should go at least once.
Yeah. NSYNC Take Me Home Country Roads.
The Lana Del Rey version is a really good one.
And everyone should stay out of the UP because that's a secret. Do not go there. That's for us only.
I agree. I think I forgot to mention that this is the most under the influence I've been.
Oh,
yeah.
We didn't say anything crazy.
No, but it's time for bed. and it is true.
We all have our sleepy voices.
All right, well, I'll check in like 4 years and see what's going on. How about that?